on my seat by 82%. Know this, I am gonna come through on a landslide just like Trump did. Know that I will be victorious.
Tiffany Henyard, once the self-proclaimed super mayor of Dalton, Illinois and Thornton Township supervisor, has suffered a significant political defeat that many view as the beginning of the end of her political career. Her loss in the recent Democratic caucus for re-election as Thornton Township supervisor represents a major turning point in her ambitious yet controversial tenure. Henyard, known for her bold assertions of authority, faced growing dissatisfaction due to allegations of mismanagement, controversial policies, and a perceived detachment from the community's needs. This defeat signals a shift in the region's political landscape, as voters demand more accountable leadership. Experts have risen up throughout the region to praise Claiborne for his leadership and to advocate for more acceptance. As voters demand more accountable leadership, Henyard's leadership was marked by polarizing decisions that alienated key constituencies. Supporters viewed her as a transformative leader who could navigate complex political terrain, while critics pointed to a lack of transparency and poor governance decisions. Over the years, trust in her leadership eroded, particularly as accusations of mismanagement grew louder. The most recent Democratic caucus, marked by chaos and vocal discontent, underscored the growing frustration within local political circles and among residents. Many rallied behind alternative candidates who promised change and a departure from Henyard's tumultuous reign. Her failure to secure re-election as Thornton Township supervisor is not just a personal blow but a clear sign of the region's changing political priorities. The caucus served as a referendum on her leadership, revealing deep dissatisfaction with her governance. This electoral setback leaves Henyard isolated in a political climate increasingly skeptical of her leadership abilities. At one time, for many, her defeat is a reminder of the importance of trust and accountability in public service, qualities Henyard struggled to maintain during her tenure. The Democratic caucus, held at the Homewood Flossmoor Park District Auditorium, became a symbolic event, revealing sharp divisions within Thornton Township. The high-stakes event attracted hundreds of attendees, many of whom were Henyard's supporters, creating a tense atmosphere. As the venue reached its 600-person capacity, many of Henyard's backers were left outside in the cold, fueling her accusations of voter suppression. She claimed that logistical failures and the exclusion of her supporters contributed to an unfair process, painting the caucus as a system rigged against her. The caucus, which was the first of its kind in 30 years for Thornton Township, brought to light the importance of strategic planning in local politics. Harris's decision to opt for a caucus rather than a primary election was a calculated move that ultimately paid off. His attention to detail and adherence to procedural rules were crucial factors in his victory. On the other hand, Henyard's defeat raised questions about her organizational skills and readiness to continue leading the township. Her failure to recognize the significance of such technical details in an election was a key factor in her political downfall. For many, Henyard's defeat marks the end of an era of divisive leadership in Thornton Township. The political landscape is now shifting as voters demand more inclusive and transparent governance. Harris's victory positions him as a rising political force. As he takes the helm of the township and seeks to restore public trust, the aftermath of the caucus continues to reverberate through the local community, with heated debates about the fairness of the process and the legitimacy of Harris's win. Regardless of the controversy surrounding the caucus, it is clear that the community now looks toward a new chapter in its political history. The fallout from Henyard's defeat is a powerful reminder of the fragility of political power. While Henyard built her public image on a platform of ambitious leadership, her downfall underscores the importance of accountability and effective governance. In an environment where political power can shift quickly, those who fail to engage with their constituents and adhere to established procedures risk losing the trust and support of the community. Henyard's fall from grace has raised questions about the broader implications of her leadership style. While her supporters continue to defend her as a visionary leader, the criticism surrounding her tenure suggests that her focus on self-promotion and controversial policies undermined her ability to connect with the community she was elected to serve. The political landscape of Thornton Township is now poised for change, as voters look for leaders who prioritize transparency, inclusivity, and accountability. As Thornton Township moves forward under the leadership of Harris, the caucus serves as a turning point in the region's political history. It marks a shift away from Henyard's tumultuous era and a renewed focus on restoring trust and credibility in local governance. The chaos surrounding the caucus, with its mix of logistical failures and emotional tensions, has only highlighted the deep divisions within the community. For some, the caucus was a necessary corrective to Henyard's leadership, while for others it represents a missed opportunity for a fair and democratic process. In the coming years, the story of the 2025 Democratic Caucus will likely be remembered as a pivotal moment in Thornton Township's political history. The shift away from Henyard's brand of leadership marks a significant change in the region's governance, as the community now looks to new leadership to address the issues that were neglected during her tenure. Harris's victory represents a clear break from the past, and as the township prepares for a new era, Henyard's defeat serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of adhering to procedural rules, maintaining transparency, and staying connected with the community.
For a while, it's like, grassroots. It was organic when a lot of this things started at the township, where the people were, just showing their...
While Tiffany Henyard's humiliation
Outside the venue, many of Henyard's supporters appeared confused and frustrated. Some complained that her team had assured them their presence alone would secure her victory, further amplifying the absurdity of the night. "We came all the way out here for nothing," one attendee remarked, reflecting the widespread disappointment. Reports indicated that the Homewood Flossmoor Park District Auditorium had reached capacity hours before the caucus began, leaving late-arriving supporters stranded outside. This underscored Henyard's logistical missteps and added to the chaos. The evening felt like the culmination of months of tension within Thornton Township's democratic structure, leaving a fractured community in its wake. Henyard's combative demeanor and disorganized approach only reinforced her reputation as a leader ill-suited for effective governance. Napoleon Harris, in contrast, stated, "We want to conduct this in an appropriate and lawful manner," highlighting the stark differences in leadership style. Speculation about Henyard's ability to recover from such a public humiliation loomed large. While her threat to sue gained media attention, political insiders doubted she could reverse the caucus results. "Losing credibility is more significant than simply losing a nomination," one observer noted. Even Henyard's staunchest supporters seemed to waver, with rumors suggesting some of her closest advisors were distancing themselves from her, unwilling to be associated with what appeared to be a sinking ship. Henyard's political trajectory had been contentious from the start. Following Zuccarelli's death in 2022, she was appointed township supervisor while also serving as mayor of Dalton, a dual role that fueled controversy over her leadership. Henyard had won the mayoral race in 2021 with over 80% of the vote and earned the nickname Super Mayor for balancing both roles. However, this raised concerns about her ability to effectively manage both responsibilities. Allegations of financial mismanagement further marred her tenure, with reports of excessive spending on public funds. Lavish dinners, personal protection, and flights to Las Vegas were among the scrutinized expenses, along with claims she used township credit cards for purchases at Amazon, Target, and Walgreens. One instance even involved spending over $4,300 on Amazon in a single day, raising serious questions about her fiscal responsibility. A 2024 investigation by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot into Dalton's finances painted a troubling picture. The village's general fund balance reportedly dropped from a $5 million surplus in 2022 to a $36 million deficit by mid-2024. Now, this has been a grassroots issue, one resident remarked, underscoring the growing disapproval of Henyard's leadership. Her autocratic style also fueled dissent. At one village board meeting, she allegedly asserted, "You all forget I'm the leader. They want to hear from the mayor, not the trustees," a comment that alienated many constituents and reflected her harsh leadership approach. As the fallout from the recent Democratic caucus unfolds, Henyard's political future looks increasingly uncertain. The evening highlighted not only her personal humiliation but also broader discontent within Thornton Township. Frustrated with fiscal mismanagement and authoritarian governance, the community seems ready for a change in leadership, leaving Henyard's once promising career in jeopardy.
Win, but let's do it properly and let the people really have a voice. The people's voice was taken.
In the days leading up to the Democratic caucus, Tiffany Henyard launched a last-minute effort to rally support by using Thornton Township vehicles to transport senior supporters to the venue. However, the plan quickly backfired when the buses arrived late, leaving many of her supporters stranded outside and unable to enter. This logistical blunder became a focal point for her critics, who seized the opportunity to highlight her inability to organize her base effectively. In response to the backlash, Henyard dismissed her critics, saying, "Nothing, they just run their mouths. You all don't do any work." This dismissive remark alienated many of her colleagues, escalating tensions with trustees and local officials and deepening the discontent surrounding her leadership. After her defeat in the caucus, Henyard's response was defiant. She vowed to challenge the results in court, claiming the process had been rigged against her. "I will be suing everyone tomorrow," she declared. Reflecting on her earlier victory, she compared her 2021 win to hitting the lottery, but now appeared to be facing the fallout from her controversial leadership style. The defeat cast serious doubt on her political future. Max Solomon echoed Henyard's accusations, alleging that Napoleon Harris had manipulated the caucus process in his favor and claiming that the rules were inherently unfair. However, election law experts noted that the caucus system is legal in Illinois and has been used for decades, including in Dalton, where Henyard serves as mayor. As tensions mounted, residents expressed growing frustration with Henyard. At a recent village board meeting, many turned their backs on her while she spoke, a symbolic gesture underscoring her declining popularity. While Henyard still has the option of running for Thornton Township Supervisor as a write-in candidate, the odds are stacked against her. Some of her supporters remain hopeful, with one ally stating, "I think enough people know her name to write her in, and I believe we could still win it." However, the challenges ahead are considerable. Critics have increasingly voiced their desire for a leadership change, with one remarking, "She gave up 32 minutes to someone who doesn't care about anyone else's time except hers." However, Henyard still has loyal supporters who argue she is being unfairly targeted by the media and her political opponents. Why is it that they only ever attack Tiffany? What about the others? One supporter asked. There are also those who believe the criticism is rooted in racial and gender bias. Yet these voices are becoming less influential as the majority of residents call for greater accountability and transparency in local government. Adding to her difficulties, reports have surfaced that the FBI is investigating allegations of financial misconduct within Henyard's administration. Subpoenas have reportedly been issued for records related to her top aides, other village employees, and even her cancer charity. These developments further complicate her future, as her political career is increasingly overshadowed by legal and ethical concerns. Her foundation is also under scrutiny for failing to register with the state and for not disclosing how it allocates donations, fueling growing calls for change in both Dalton and Thornton Township.